Good morning, vlog. So I've tried to do vlogging a lot in the past, but I never seem to do it because I feel like I'm so boring. But at the same time, it's like I want to document my days, you know? My memory's becoming pretty shit, and I kind of want to remember. So it is January 31st. I've woke up like multiple times, but I'm fully awake and I fully woke up at 10:42. I know this because I thought I had a therapy appointment at 10:45 a.m. Turns out the appointment's on Wednesday, so I'm lying here and I got my hand in my pants because it's warm in there, and my left hand is out in the freezing cold. I have two blankets on. I need to like pull this one up, but yeah. Anyways, this is how I look. I also washed my face a little ago, so my face looks a little dry. And I think I'm gonna do my mock-up today because I can. And I just do, because I was really hoping to have today off, but I don't. It's really sad. Like, not even just really sad, like incredibly sad. But at least my paycheck's gonna look good, you know? Yeah, I don't want to keep rambling. See you in the next clip. Bye. Hello, everybody. Again, it's that time where I get to do my hair and get ready for work. Is it a good time? No. To be honest, I'm kind of fucking pissed that I have work today. But, you know, I gotta go, I guess. And something else pissed me off today. I have to be honest. Something else pissed me off. My friend, I left a device in there, right? I left a little device, and I knew it was in there, but I was like, no, I swear to God, I took it out. So I never like confronted him or asked him about it, even though I had been looking for it for like a week. And then he tells me today, by the way, it's in my car. And I'm like, oh, and you're barely telling me? He's like, I barely noticed. Like, okay. And I was like, can you drop it off before 5? And he was like, you know, it depends on if I get off work. And I was like, I expected that answer. But I was like, it's fine. Tomorrow I'm gonna have the day off. He can go ahead and drop it off whenever. And all that. And I tell him that, and he's like, unless you have tomorrow, like if you have tomorrow off, I can for sure do it. Like, he didn't say that. I can probably do it tomorrow. And I was like, no, you're going to do it tomorrow. Like, I have tomorrow off. You're going to drop it off tomorrow. You can't today. And then he was like, and like, it's kind of weird how the conversation happened, but he had barely read the I have tomorrow off, and he was like, oh, okay, so you're gonna come pick it up. Okay, good. Okay, cool, bet. Sounds like a plan. I'm like, you want me to go over to your fucking house, like apartment, and fucking pick it up, and I don't even have a fucking car, and you could, because, you know, you have a fucking car, broke ass motherfucker, like, wants to talk about the money he's making, but he can't fucking afford the gas to my fucking house that's like not even 5 minutes away from yours. Okay. Like, okay. Whatever. I got really fucking mad. I don't give a fuck if he was playing or not. I'm not. I don't like him. And he should know that I don't like him. Anyways, so I was like, whatever. And I was like, pick it up. And I was like, you know what, fine. So I was like, fine, whatever, I'm gonna do it. So I obviously wasn't gonna just agree to it without taking a dig. And I was like, lazy ass, period. Fine. Like, I should have expected it. Like, I was like, should have expected that though. Fine then. And then he was like, damn, like that, like exactly like that. You made it like that. I'm continuing, whatever. So now what was I gonna do? I forgot what it was. So now I'm gonna probably go pick it up tomorrow. Anyway, I'm here though. Anyway, I forgot what else I was gonna say with that. But yeah, it made me really mad, and it made me wish for him to get in a deadly car crash. But do I take that back? No. So if that happens, I guess you could say that I do in fact have manifesting powers. Anyways, I need to go number 2 now. Okay, this is me doing my hair for work, but I decided to give an update. So I did end up going to pick it up after having a whole struggle where I was like, okay, you drop it off. After he asked me, like, he was like, oh, I can drop it off, you know. And I was like, okay, you drop it off. And he was like, oh, now it's too late. Like, I'll drop it off later. And I'm like, what the fuck you mean drop it off later? I have plans later. Plans to go out by myself, yes. But I still plans, you know. And then I like, you know, I don't have like the time to be waiting around here. And then he's like, you have today off. Like, it'll be fine. Like, bro, he literally assumed that I had nothing going on, which fair enough. But all right, I did my hair. Wait, the work. And this is how it looks. All right, now I'm gonna get dressed. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I think it looks fucking fugly from the back, but it looks okay from the front, so that's fine. I learned this one lesson, and it's to, like, don't give a fuck what's going on in the back of your hair, only give a fuck what's going on in the front. And in the front, it doesn't look that great either, but it looks better. It looks like I can go to work, and people aren't gonna look at me funny. You know?
That's a highlighter, baby. That's not a pen.
So, yeah. Okay, here is the outfit for work. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. We got these cargo pants. Shout out to my cousin for giving them to me. We got this Fruit of the Loom black t-shirt. Here's the view from the back. I know, just got the fresh new BBL. Looks thick as fuck. Better than Kim Kardashian and Nicki Minaj combined. I know. And then I got the dogs. And then I got this tunnel vision necklace. It's supposed to have a charm on it, but I'm not allowed to wear bulky jewelry, and having a charm counts as bulky, I guess. So yeah, I'm not allowed to wear that. Anyways, I forget what. Oh, and then Avi, a leather jacket. And this completes the look. I take this off before I clock in, Avi. But right. That's it. So I didn't vlog, but I went to work. Okay, let me try to sound a little bit more enthusiastic so I'm funner to watch. Whoa. Okay. So I went to work. It was so fun. It was so crazy. So in the area I work in, there's a lot of homeless people. A lot of times they are hallucinating because they have been up for probably 3 days. Doing what? If you know, you know. Anyways, so one of those times this man walked in and we had to call the cops on him because he wouldn't leave. And then he finally left, and we were like, okay, we don't need you guys anymore. And then he came back, and we were like, no, you can't come back in. No. And so he left. And then we saw him again, but this time he was, like, battling his, like, parents who were just trying to get him home or something. And he was, like, just, like, literally Naruto, like, fucking battling them. I assume that's how Naruto would fucking battle, because he was, like, hold on, let me show you. He was like this. He was literally battling. I'm not kidding. And then today, I didn't even see him. Every time he would like show up, I was like doing something and I was busy. But he came back and he had like body paint all over him. And I forgot what else he was doing. Oh, and he had a big giant like tree branch with him, my coworker said. It was funny. And then, oh my god, let me tell you about these freaking people who really pissed me off. So, oh, I'm out of breath. And I work out. What the fuck? Anyway, so what happened was this lady walks in, right? She's like looking around, and I'm like, oh, she's probably looking for someone. And she is, and she's like, I'm looking for someone. I don't know if he came yet. And I was like, what was his name? And he hadn't come in yet. And so I was like, oh, okay, would you like to put your name on the waiting list? For how many? And then she's like, no, I would like to order to go. I would like to order to go. And I was like, okay, could I have a name and phone number? And then she gave it to me, and then I took her order. She paid for it, and she was waiting, right? And so then this other man comes in, and I'm like, hi, welcome. And he just like completely ignores me. And this is like 20 minutes later, by the way. And he just starts watching the game. And I assume that he's the guy that she was with, because like, why else would a random man who seems pretty collected and sane walk into my restaurant and just absolutely not acknowledge me? You know, usually the people who do that are like the homeless people, but you know, he seemed put together. And so whatever. And she comes up to me, and then she comes up to the host stand, and she's like, can we be seated? I ordered to go, but I didn't want to order to go. I wanted to put my name on the wait list. And we were like, oh. And then my friend Avish, who has my bag and who was literally there, and that lady, like, okay, whatever. And so I hear this and I feel bad automatically, because I'm like, oh, there must have been a miscommunication. Like, you know, I feel bad now that I took her order and she actually wanted to be sat. And then my coworker was like, but I was also kind of irritated. I was like, but I took your name. Like, you know, the whole process was obviously the process of having a to-go order. And her name was already in our system. So she has obviously had her to-go order taken before. So she knows how they're taken. Whatever. And so my coworker's like, she took your name and your phone number and she took your order and you paid for it? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, well, that's a to-go order. And like, you know, she's basically saying like, how did you not know that you were having your to-go order taken? And then we're like, okay, we have to make sure that it's okay for us to do that. Because like, we have to do like this whole thing. We had to void it out. And then none of us really knew how to void it out. And it was just like this really it was just a process that none of us really wanted to go through with. And it was like, yeah, we could have just let her sit but like, you know, we didn't know how we were going to clear it out the system, which would be a problem for when we're trying to go home. And so we're trying to like figure it out. We're trying to figure out to see if what other servers can do it. And then like the man that she's with gets all fucking mad. And he's like, what's the problem? What's the problem? I see all these empty tables. What's the problem? And we're like, oh my God. And we're like, it's literally 4 girls and 1 guy. And this guy is like 5'6" and probably weighs the same. Me and him probably weigh the same amount. Not saying that he couldn't do something to protect us, but I am saying that this other man was probably about like 5'11", probably weighed a good 180, maybe even 200, you know. I'm just saying. And he was like a little bit intimidating. So we were just like, so my coworker was just like, I'll just seat them. And he's like, what's the problem? And then my coworker is like, there's no problem. We just like, you know, we're just trying to figure something, whatever. They get sat down. And I get so irritated. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, no, she most definitely said that she wanted to place a to-go order. Like, I remember, like, she said that she wanted to place a to-go order. Like, she specifically said those words. And I was telling my coworker, I was like, I swear to God, I remember. And she's like, yeah, I know. I was there. I remember. She said, and we were like, she's being like, and I feel bad a little bit because I feel like she felt scared to tell her husband that she fucked up. And and the way that he got so mad at us and so irritated was like, what's the problem? And like was getting like kind of in our coworker's face, like our guy coworker. And I was like, and it was just like, I feel bad for that woman. I feel bad for her, to be honest. At least from what it seemed, that man seemed to have anger issues and they weren't resolved. I don't know. Just my opinion, though. And so after that, nothing really interesting happened after that. That was it. Now I'm home. I did a little bit of math, but because I'm doing the GED, right? And like, it's teaching you how to do everything, right? And it was cool. I was like kind of having fun doing math that I already knew how to do. And it was just like fun. But I got to the adding and subtracting fractions. And it's not that I can't do it. It's just that like, oh my God, it takes so much fucking time. I have to fucking, if it's like 1/3 minus 3/8, I have to like, you know, multiply 1/3 times 8. 8 on both sides, so that it's 8/24, and then the next one 3/8 times that by 3 9 and 1/24. Then, you know what I mean? And then I have to like, there's just so many freaking steps, and it's so boring. Like it's so easy, and like I can do it for a little bit, but it gets so boring after a while. So I switched to division and multiplication, but now I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of lazy and I don't want to do it. Yeah, and I'm kind of tired, so I think I'm not gonna do it. I have a big day tomorrow. I sold my first package off Depop, and I really want to make it really, really special since it's my first package. So I'm going to hope that like she likes my special packaging. I'm gonna go get some candy. Like I'm probably gonna lose more money than I made packaging this order, but I don't care. I don't care. Okay, guys, day 2 vlog. Okay, so anyway, so I was thinking about this story that happened. Hopefully there's no one around. I'm on top of a parking structure, you know, smoking a cigarette because I smoke cigarettes, guys. It's not legal, but you know, socially acceptable. Anyways, hopefully that doesn't get, nah, it won't get demonetized. I say that as if I'm monetized. I'm literally not monetized. Anyway, so what is it called? What was I gonna say? Oh, okay, so like a couple weeks ago, my coworker, let's call him Bob asked our other coworker, Sally, and he was like, Sally, who do you think is smarter, me or Valeria? And Sally like chooses me, and I think like obviously haha hee hee joke, like he's 23, he went to college, you know, I didn't quite finish public schooling, so you know, I was like haha, it's so funny. And honestly, I just don't think I give off smart vibes anymore. Like I used to, but not anymore, like, you know. And so I find out that she's like kind of being serious. I don't know if she was for sure being serious, because I could have misread the situation, but I felt like she was being serious because I forgot how, but somehow the conversation from that point led up to her like asking me about like school, and I was like, oh, I dropped out of high school. You know, like it's always awkward having to say that, because it's like, it's not that I'm ashamed of it, it's just that like I know how other people could view it. Oh, there's people. Anyway, but like I know how, okay, I'm gonna talk about it, but like it's not that I'm ashamed that I dropped out. It's like more that like I know how other people like I know how other people view it, you know, and I know how they view people who didn't finish high school or could, like, you know, so I don't really like to talk about it unless I feel like your vibe is like accepting or something like that, you know. But like I try to avoid it. Like I'll share it, but like, you know, I try to avoid having that conversation because I think it's awkward. No one really knows what to say. It's like at this point I think I'm gonna start lying. I'm like, I was class of 2021. Like it's so much easier to just say that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start saying that. Anyway, but I didn't think to lie before, so now I guess I'm gonna lie. But I was like, I don't like having that awkward silence where they're like, oh, that's okay. And then like she comes back, I forgot what, but she starts being like, you know, school doesn't determine your intelligence. Like I wasn't really that good in school, but my IQ levels, blah blah blah. And then I'm like, well, the IQ test is kind of ableist. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm chronically online. Shit, that was loud. I was like, I'm chronically online. But yeah, and now I feel awkward. But anyways, this is what it's like to be a tuber, guys. Embarrassing yourself in public. If you want to be a famous YouTuber, you gotta embarrass yourself in public. It's just something you gotta get used to, you know. Me as the most famous YouTuber, it's just so hard, you know. Anyway, and so I was just like, yeah, and I was like, what are you like? I just like wanted to talk about that because I hate that kind of response. I'm like, okay, yeah, it doesn't, like, you know, I was pretty good in school, like, you know, I am pretty good in school, like, it's not that school was hard, it's just I didn't want to do it, so I don't tend to do things that I don't want to do, you know, which is a bad attitude to have in life, kind of, because like you do have to do a lot of things that you don't want to do, and I'm kind of narcissistic in that it's like, no, I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do, which To a certain extent, yes. But also, some things, like, you know, I don't want to do, but it's the better thing to do. You know? Anyway. So, in this moment, I didn't choose the better thing to do. I chose that, woo, let's go party, let's go hang out in the bathroom, you know? But at the same time, it's like, maybe it does kind of measure my intelligence. Because it's like, how dumb could I be to not finish high school? Like, I was really good at school. Like, it would have been like an easy walk. Like, it would have been a breeze if I had just tried. But I don't know why. I just, like, I couldn't bring myself to do it. I still can barely bring myself to do my GED work, which I'm doing. But Jesus Christ, like, it's just so hard to bring myself to do that. Like, I can bring myself to go to work every day because it's like, oh, fuck, I want to make this money. And it's like, it's not like I have any other option. It's not like I'm going to school or anything like that. And even if I was going to school, I would still have to work, because it's like, it's not that I'm not like financially comfortable enough to where I can just focus on being a student, you know? Like, I always have to be thinking ahead, thinking of like what else could happen, because I also want a car. So yeah, and I have to be learning the rules of the road, which I kind of don't want to do. I just kind of want to learn how to drive and then be like, woo, let's go party, guys, hop in my little Miata. I hope they have 4-seater Miatas. If they don't, I'm gonna be mad, but I'll be okay with the 2-seater. I'll be okay with the 2-seater. So yeah. Yeah, anyways, I'm at the food lab, and I'm gonna get something to eat, maybe, because now that I'm like, you know, now that I've hit this a little bit, I kind of don't really have that much of an appetite. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to tell that story. I kind of don't like that response, because it's like, I didn't really feel bad about not finishing high school, but now that you're saying all this encouraging stuff, it makes me feel like I should feel bad about it, or like it's like expected of me to feel ashamed about it. Like, I do have my moments where I am, and like I just like hate myself for it, but at the same time, I can't change it. And to be upset about it, it's like kind of dumb. Like, you know, I chose that for myself. I knew what the fuck I was doing. Like, I know for a fact I knew the route I was choosing, and you know, and I did it. And then, like, you know, I can be upset about it sometimes, but what's that gonna do? What is crying about it, what is being upset about it gonna do? Nothing. I have to fucking accept things for what they are and then go from there. And that's what I'm trying to do. But like, oh my god, I should probably do it when I get home. Yes. Hey guys, so I was gonna do a haul of what I got from Vaughn's, but to be honest, I got a little lazy and I just don't really feel like doing that anymore. So what I got wasn't too interesting. I got cinnamon toast crunch ice cream, brownie bits road ice cream, and then I got some wavy ruffles, not ruffles, Lay's potato chips with some fresh onion dip, and then I got some makeup remover and the Smart Water. And then I watched the new Scream. It was awful, in my opinion. I didn't like it. I just didn't. The acting wasn't too bad. I just like, it wasn't my thing. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye. My social media is down below. Follow me on the IG, guys.